Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7 p.m. on KDOC TV.
A late spring storm is packing a punch here in Southern California, from the mountains to the valleys to the beaches. And the live Mega Doppler 7000 HD radar shows the story. All the green means rain.
A Victorville woman accused of murdering her husband takes off with their 2 children. What neighbors are saying about the couple's troubled relationship. Good evening. I'm Rudabe Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm David Ona. This is Eyewitness News on on KDOC TV, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. And we have live storm track team coverage. Meteorologist Jonathan Novak shows us where the storm is right now and where it's headed. But we begin with Rob Hayes in Santa Clarita, where some rain just blew through. Rob.
Yeah, it's raining right now, David. A bit of a blessing and a curse for Santa Clarita. You can see behind me here, crews are striking the finish line for the Amgen Tour of California bicycle race. They just had the 5th stage here today, made for a wet finish of that stage of the race. And the other thing is that the race is going to be spending a little extra time here in Santa Clarita because of the rain. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. But first, let's check out some of the other areas. People all across Southern California dealing with this storm. Over in Santa Monica, the umbrellas were out. People dodging some healthy downpours earlier today. The rain also stretching into Studio City and other parts of the valley. And if rain wasn't enough, take a look at Big Bear. Snow was falling over there. Too late in the season for skiers and snowboarders to take advantage of, but it's hard to find anyone in drought-stricken California who's going to complain about precipitation.
Love the weather. So excited we're finally getting some rain, and we need it.
I think we need it. It's just kind of chaotic, especially with the Amgen in town right now, too. The roads are horrible right now. I almost got hit by like 3 cars on the way over here. There's people driving crazy. Yeah, no one knows how to drive when the rain starts coming. But we definitely need it, and it's good for the town, good for the whole whole state right now.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, that rain giving Santa Clarita a bit of an economic boost. Stage 5 of the Amgen bike race started today in Santa Barbara. It wrapped up this afternoon in Santa Clarita. But instead of moving to Big Bear for Stage 6 tomorrow, race officials made the call to keep those time trials here. They're worried that rain and possibly snow in the mountains would be too hazardous for the riders. So that means more money is being generated here in Santa Clarita, but it is also causing some logistical problems. If you take a look behind me, you'll see this stretch of the road is closed down for the bike race. They're going to be opening it soon, it looks like, but the race will take off. We'll start tomorrow and end tomorrow. Not the race, Stage 6, I should say. We'll start and end at Magic Mountain theme park over there. We'll have more on all that coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 p.m. Reporting live in Santa Clarita, Rob Hayes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Rob, thank you. And the rain is causing a good runoff from some of the local mountains. The water in this creek is heading down to Lake Matthews, which is a large reservoir in Riverside County. It's located in the foothills of the Temescal Mountains. The reservoir provides much of the water used by cities and the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California.
All right, and let's head up now to Bill Thomas. He's flying over Granada Hills in Air 7 HD, also tracking some rain for us. Bill?
Yeah, you can see that rain coming in from Ventura County through the Santa Susana Pass, out of Simi Valley, through Chatsworth into Porter Ranch. Right now we're on top of Granada Hills. We're just north of the 118 near Balboa. You can see the underbelly of the helicopter and the rain growing across the belly of our helicopter. Tried to get to Santa Clarita through the Newhall Pass, but the clouds and the fog were just too low. Couldn't make it through there, but a good deal of rain affecting your commute if you're leaving anytime soon. It's a mess of a ride on the 5 northbound up into Santa Clarita. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Bill Thomas, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Bill, thank you. And tracking it all for us, meteorologist Jonathan Novak.
Yeah, Rudabe folks, busy on that live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. Let's get to it. We'll zoom on into some heavy rain right now. This pocket of showers right northeast of Malibu is dropping about 1 inch of rain per hour. That is the rainfall rate as estimated by the radar right now. Look at this heavy activity heading up toward Hidden Hills and stretching up north to right around the North Ridge area into Santa Clarita. We were just looking at some of that shower activity, and this all is going to be going on for the next couple of hours as it moves from the southwest to the northeast. Check it out, Santa Clarita, Canyon Country. This red indicating very heavy rain, of course, as well. To the southeast, we have some breaks in the activity, but another pocket of some moderate rainfall around Glendora. We've got to watch out for any of the burn areas tonight in through tomorrow as this activity continues, for possibilities there of some issues and mudslides and whatnot. Big Bear, seeing snow. The gray here, some light snow. As you get into those whites, that's some heavier snow that's falling. Wrightwood, too, getting in on some snow as well. And to the southeast of that, some breaks as well, but more heavy rain just south of Dana Point. This is going to continue on through tonight. We have another round in store for tomorrow morning for your commute tomorrow. I'll detail when things finally dry up. The weekend forecast is ahead.
Jonathan, thank you.
You're welcome.
And it hasn't happened since April of the year 2000, but could tonight's Dodgers game at the Chavez Ravine actually be rained out? Eyewitness News reporter Alex Michelson reports from Dodger Stadium, where fans are bundling up tonight.
The tarp is out protecting the field at Dodger Stadium. Crews are cleaning off wet seats. Steve Ethier is overseeing all this extra work to try and complete tonight's contest.
We intend to play our game tonight as scheduled. Right now the radar looks clear and we're very encouraged.
Fans are bringing umbrellas and optimism to Chavez Ravine.
I don't think it's going to get rained out.
You're confident?
Oh, yeah. We're number one.
Dodger Stadium hasn't had a rain out in May since 1977.
You're not worried that we're going to see history here?
No history.
We'll be in their world for the Iowa State for a while and get a little wet.
It's worth it for you.
Yes, it is.
Back in April, rain caused a 30-minute delay in a game versus the Padres, but they were eventually able to restart the game to the delight of the Dodger Stadium crowd. But just last Friday in Colorado, the rain was so intense during a game versus the Rockies, the umpire ended up calling the game in the sixth, giving the Dodgers an early victory. I asked manager Don Mattingly about preparing for tonight's game.
Any extra pressure to try to get runs on the board early tonight?
I don't think we're not really concerned that the game's not going to be played. And I'd always like to have runs on the board early, to be honest with you.
Under Major League Baseball rules, if the teams complete 5 innings, then the umpire has the option of calling the game early, and the game would still count as a completed game in the standings. Reporting from Dodger Stadium, Alex Michelson, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Well, as of right now, the 7:10 p.m. start is still a go. And in fact, I just saw a tweet. The tarp is now off the field. Stay with Eyewitness News for complete storm track coverage. Get the information you need with the free Mega Doppler app or on ABC7.com.
The search continues for a woman suspected of killing her husband and vanishing with the couple's young daughters. They haven't been seen in days. Eyewitness News Inland Empire reporter Leticia Juarez has the latest on the investigation and the reaction from shocked neighbors.
Crime scene tape remains outside the Victorville home belonging to 33-year-old Leticia Smith, the mother of 2 now on the run with her daughters, 8-year-old Isabel and 4-year-old Abigail. She is accused of murdering her husband. Neighbors say the couple had a troubled and rocky marriage.
On a couple occasions we had to call the police because she was outside bleeding and stuff like that, so we did have to call rescue a couple times for her.
On Tuesday, authorities discovered the body of Smith's husband, Antoine Smith, inside a back bedroom. Officers went to the home to do a welfare check after he failed to show up to work and had not been seen or heard from. Stacey Harold says the last time she saw the couple together, they were arguing in front of their girls.
I've seen them actually argue to a point where you got scared. You like ready to dial 911.
Harold says the last time she saw Leticia Smith was on Mother's Day, the same day she heard 2 gunshots.
A neighbor who lives directly behind them heard it on the same day I heard it, and she said like that happened. I think that's what happened.
An arrest warrant has been issued for Smith. They believe she may be driving a 4-door silver Honda with California license plate 7FB T742.
Leticia Juarez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
If you have any information on the case, you're urged to call the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department at 760-956-5001.
He's already charged with the murder of his second ex-wife, and now a former Mission Viejo attorney is accused of trying to have his third ex-wife murdered. Lonnie Cocantes was initially charged with murdering Miki Kanasaki for financial gain, allegedly strangling her and then throwing her overboard during a cruise in Italy in 2006. He's now charged with trying to have his latest ex-wife killed. She is a witness in the upcoming murder trial. The 57-year-old is facing many years behind bars, and we'll have much more on this story coming up at 7:30. 2 former Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department officials are out on bond tonight. Paul Tanaka and Tom Carey were released late this afternoon following a hearing in federal court where they pleaded not guilty to obstruction of justice charges. Eyewitness News reporter Miriam Hernandez has more on today's proceedings.
Once top of the sheriff's command chain, today shackled and in handcuffs, former Captain Tom Carey, who had been in charge of investigating bad deputies, and his boss, the sheriff's second in command.
The indictment unsealed today charges Paul Tanaka, who until early 2014 was the undersheriff.
The alleged plot unfolds like a Hollywood script, according to the FBI. Agents smuggled a contraband cell phone to inmate Anthony Brown. Their idea was that Brown could report any inmate abuse he might witness. The plan collapsed when deputies quickly found the illegal phone and sequestered Brown to get to the bottom of what the FBI was fishing for.
He doesn't have a right to break the law.
Then Sheriff Lee Baca was irate, but federal investigators say they do not have evidence to charge him with any crime. Undisputed is that he demanded answers. The FBI and the Sheriff's Department launched competing investigations, and here is where the FBI says Tanaka and Carey crossed the line, conspiring to hide Brown within the jail system, then going after Leah Marks, the FBI agent who had planted Brown and the phone in the jail. Eyewitness News obtained the sheriff's surveillance recording of what they told her.
I'm in the process of swearing out a declaration for an arrest warrant for you.
The U.S. Attorney says that sheriff's officials knew or should have known that they held no power over federal agents.
The minute that they realized that the FBI was investigating the Sheriff's Department, they got involved to obstruct justice.
Tanaka's attorney calls the charges baseless. Quote, after all facts come to light, we are confident he will be exonerated of any wrongdoing. Unquote. What makes this case so important, say the feds, is what they had hoped that phone might help uncover: inmate abuse, and that aggressive deputies were not reined in by top leaders. Miriam Hernandez, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
It was a horrific crash, and we're getting our first look at the moment of impact in that deadly crash involving a stolen ambulance and a big rig. The surveillance video shows the ambulance traveling at a high rate of speed, slamming into the truck on Fraser Mountain Park Road. Both drivers were killed in the crash. Investigators say the ambulance was stolen from paramedics by a woman with a knife who had called for medical help yesterday.
Tonight, a wet and cold winter storm is bringing rain and snow to Southern California.
Meteorologist Jonathan Novak looks ahead to the morning commute. Up next, plus this.
A high school principal punished for her racially charged remarks during graduation.
And a terrifying day for this base jumper, how she ended up in this dangerous predicament. It's a case out of Georgia making national headlines. A high school principal making controversial comments at graduation that have now cost her her job. ABC's Mara Schiavocampo with the tape tonight.
Graduation cheers.
Graduates, you may move your tassel.
To jeers. Tonight, a Georgia principal fired for what many are calling racist remarks during a high school graduation ceremony last weekend. After mistakenly dismissing the crowd before bringing the valedictorian up for his speech, school founder Nancy Gorduke asked them to sit back down.
Hey, everybody come back.
When that didn't happen, this did.
Look who's leaving, all the black people.
After an uproar from the crowd, new video shows Gorduke apologizing soon after.
Anybody that knows me knows I did not mean that in a racial manner.
Later emailing parents, the devil was in the house and came out from my mouth. Now, the school's board of directors says they have moved to dismiss Nancy Gorduke as principal.
Again, that was Mara Schiavocampo reporting. She tells the local NAACP they applaud the firing, and while they support the principal's right to free speech as a private citizen, they say educators are held to higher standards.
Well, you got to see this one. Things didn't end quite the way a base jumper in Idaho had planned. The 25-year-old woman jumped off a bridge, but a gust of wind caught her parachute and twisted her up back into the bridge's rafters. She was left dangling for about a half an hour until emergency crews were able to rescue her. Base jumping for the bridge is legal, but officials say jumpers need to gauge weather conditions before they take the leap.
Why is that legal?
I don't know, but maybe it won't be for long after that.
All right, our big story tonight, the weather, and Jonathan is tracking it all for us.
Oh boy, it is wet out there. A lot of you seeing right now some heavy rain. Let's check in with Malibu. I've seen an inch of rainfall reported. With this cell right here, this area of heavy rain, this is just dropping about an inch per hour. I saw around Hidden Hills about an inch, and just north of Malibu about an inch so far that has been accumulating with that area. Watch out, that could cause some flooding in low-lying areas. In Santa Clarita, down towards San Fernando and Northridge, this is some scattered heavy activity. You see, we see these reds and these dark reds really going to be falling very heavy in those spots. As we zoom on in a little bit closer, I saw Canyon Country with just over an inch reporting there. Some breaks here as we head south toward Pasadena. You've had some rain as well today in Glendora. We've got to watch out for those burn areas too. That's on the mind over the next 24 hours as we continue to see the rain on and off. We've got another round of it I'll talk about in a moment for tomorrow. Big Bear, some of that snow looks like it's letting up now, but some heavier snow around Wrightwood. Good stuff there. 6 inches potentially or more when it's all said and done. Let's head south here toward the Dana Point area. Another pocket of some heavy activity that could drop about an inch just with that one spot, with that one area of the heavier rainfall. And this stretches all the way east as you head east of that area towards Temecula. So some rain tonight is going to continue on, but I think wrap up overnight and then another bout as you go in through tomorrow morning for your commute. We're going to show you that in a moment. Some of the other rainfall totals coming in. About a half an inch in San Bernardino, just over that in Pasadena, a quarter inch Redondo Beach, and in between a quarter and a half if you're in Ventura and Newport Beach, and we're only adding to it. Let's zoom on out, and I'll show you the storm system. Check it out. Just big area of low pressure, pumping in moisture, giving us lift, and creating the showers and storms. We have another bout of it right here that's going to be rotating around into Southern California. The bulk of that activity is going to stay, I would say, southern Los Angeles County to the south, going into the 5, 6, 7 a.m. time frame as we head into tomorrow. In the meantime, there's a winter weather advisory for the mountains, and we have a flash flood watch on top of it. How that's playing out is like this. 3 to 6 inches of snow possible overnight into tomorrow, over 6,000 feet. It's going to cause some hazardous driving conditions. Tomorrow morning, watch out for it. We have storms possible again. We're going to have a break in between, but maybe another bout where we see an inch per hour, and that goes until Friday at 6 p.m. For the rain chances overall. So let's get into that 7-day forecast, and for tomorrow, again, the morning commute is going to be of concern. By the latter half of the day, I think we'll probably start winding things down. You could probably relax a little bit, but the weekend is really looking nice. 70 on Saturday and Sunday. Whew, looking good after we get past this one. Valleys, IE, maybe another inch of rain. That's what the forecast calls. 67 for a high as we go into Friday, and then the weekend's looking dry. Beach forecast, another quarter to a half an inch. And if you have some of those pockets that I showed you of heavier rainfall, those are dropping 3/4 of an inch to an inch per hour, according to the radar estimates at the moment. The mountains, More snow for you tonight into tomorrow morning. Highs tomorrow only 39. And a cool, sunny, dry weekend ahead. The high desert, you too. You're seeing some showers too. We'll keep it going for you. There's a chance of rain for Friday. 62 for a high on Friday, but I'll get you back into the 70s for the weekend. More on the forecast coming up in a little bit. We'll check that radar again.
All right, Jonathan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And here's a look at the rain coming down today in Costa Mesa. Eyewitness Mike Rogers shot this old Navy fighter jet that sits in Lions Park, and he posted it to Instagram with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness. And keep using the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness to share your pictures and video of the storm. You can also upload it for free to the ABC7 app.
The K-9 hero injured trying to catch some burglary suspects had another blood transfusion and platelet treatment. A vet says 3-year-old Robin seems more alert and is standing in her kennel, which she hasn't been able to do until now. The Monterey Park police dog was injured when a beehive was disrupted during a suspect chase. Robin was stung many times and rushed to an emergency clinic. The suspects were later caught, one by Robin herself. She remains in stable but guarded condition.
A bear has become quite a celebrity in a small town in Pennsylvania. Residents of Monroeville have named him Bernard. He's been seen in the yard of John Burton, who feeds him apples, strawberries, and potato salad. But what keeps the bear coming back is the marshmallows.
It's actually been pretty great. You know, you never get to see a bear just walking around your neighborhood, so it's awesome.
I wish it could stay here and have it as a pet.
The bear hasn't caused any problems, but did get too close for comfort for a local reporter covering this story. Wildlife officials want neighbors to continue feeding the bear to keep him close by until they can come out and trap him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Apples, strawberries, marshmallows.
Potato salad.
Sounds good. I might want to go there. Next, what forced a flight out of LAX this morning to return and make an emergency landing?
Plus, a man who had too much to drink did the right thing by not getting behind the wheel, but he is in trouble for who he let drive.
And ahead at 7:30, a case of mistaken identity, 3 decades old. A wrongfully convicted man is now free and speaking out. His remarkable story is straight ahead.
All right, folks, we are tracking some heavy rain on that live Megadopoulos 7000 HD. We were reporting about an inch an hour, some of these storms, some of these showers around Northridge, where we just got a confirmed report of that with some lightning as well. Watch out. We are tracking it for you right here in the Weather Center. We'll have more coming up.
All right, be careful in Northridge. Thanks, Jonathan. A scare this morning for people on board a plane from Los Angeles to Missouri. The American Airlines plane reportedly came into contact with birds just a few minutes into the flight at around 6 o'clock this morning. The plane returned to LAX, landed safely. Flight 1258 was heading to St. Louis. It was taken out of service and passengers were placed on other flights.
A Georgia father is facing child endangerment charges, accused of allowing his unlicensed daughter to drive his SUV because he was too drunk to drive. Investigators say the family had been attending a concert. Witnesses reported seeing the SUV hit a Jeep and leave the scene. Police traced the license plate to the owner's home, and that's when they learned that an unlicensed 15-year-old had been behind the wheel at the time.
I know that it's not the easiest situation sometimes to have to come back and pick up a car, but that's much easier than putting somebody at risk or putting yourself at risk, or letting somebody else that's not equipped or not authorized to operate a vehicle.
Police cited the dad for allowing his daughter to drive and for urging her to leave the scene of an accident. The teen was also ticketed.
We're updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30, including the latest on our spring storm, where the snow and rain is headed next.
Plus, more on why today's dose of rain and snow should be good news for Big Bear, but it's extremely bad for business.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on KDOC TV.
Top story at 7:30. A late spring storm moves into Southern California. I'm David Ono.
I'm Rudabeh Shabazi in for Colleen Sullivan. This is Eyewitness News on KDOC TV, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. The storm system is expected to pack much more of a punch than the storm we had just a week ago. We've already seen scattered rain throughout the region and snow in our local mountains. Several advisories are currently in effect. Let's check in now with meteorologist Jonathan Novak. He's tracking the storm with the live Mega Doppler 7000 HD.
Yeah, Rudabeh, winter weather advisory in effect for the mountains, flash flood watch in effect, but not for the areas. Right now we're actually seeing some potential for that to happen with some heavy activity east of Malibu that stretches up just south of the 101 from the coast, just south of Hidden Hills. This right here, this magenta color that's just on top of the red there, that's actually about an inch per hour that is falling right now with that as it moves from the west-southwest to the east-northeast, heading toward the 405. Okay, so that's one particular area to be concerned about as we go along here the next hour or so. To the north of that, we've had reports around Northridge of an inch of rain falling in the last hour with some of this heavier activity here just around the Granada Hills area up towards Santa Clarita, and this stretches up to the north of that, east of Canyon Country, where I also saw about an inch just over that reported from one of the rainfall gauges there. Wrightwood, some moderate snowfall still with you guys. That's going to continue on and off through tonight into tomorrow morning. We have more of this ahead over the next 24 hours. And then as we head to the 215, approaching that area is a area of heavier rainfall as well, just north of Rialto. We're watching that too. So overall, it's been about a quarter to a half of an inch with the activity, but then we have these pockets of real heavy stuff that could cause some problems in terms of flooding. Murrieta down to Temecula and stretching west towards San Clemente is another one of those spots, and this is all moving again from the west-southwest to the east-northeast over the next day. We have more in store. I'll detail when it finally dries up, how much you can expect overall when it's all said and done, too. Your morning commute's going to be wet tomorrow, guys. Details ahead.
All right, we'll see you then. Yep. In the meantime, after months of hoping for snow, some of our mountain communities are finally seeing it. However, the snow is coming at a time when winter is long gone and spring events are in full swing. And that's causing several things to be postponed and one major event to move to an entirely new location. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan has more from Big Bear Lake.
If this is what the weather would just look like tomorrow at this time, there wouldn't be a problem. But with a forecast of rain and snow, the Amgen tour of California that was supposed to be coming through Big Bear Lake will instead move to Santa Clarita, leaving a resort community that was expecting a lot of business looking more like a ghost town.
That's sad. There was a lot invested in that.
For most of people that own businesses, they're going to lose out on a lot of revenue.
Not only for restaurants like the Boneside Up Barbecue in Big Bear Lake, but also many of the hotels and lodges, like the Sleepy Forest Cottages.
It's definitely going to affect all the businesses up here as far as lodges go. I'm sure we're going from being fully booked to, at least 75% occupied or so.
Everyone's obviously disappointed. We had a lot of people working really hard.
The mid-spring storm is also causing problems for mountain bikers at Snow Summit. For the second weekend in a row, they're going to delay opening.
We're not going to open Friday, but we plan to open on Saturday in the afternoon by 1 o'clock. If we can open a little earlier, we will.
We needed this back in January.
Not in May.
Not in May.
But if there's something to learn up here, it's actually something we should already know.
You just can't fight Mother Nature.
Got to go with the flow. What do? Mother Nature wants it to snow, it snows.
And we should point out the reason Amgen is moving this portion of the race from Big Bear Lake to Santa Clarita is safety. Wet pavement like this can be very dangerous for cyclists, especially if we get 3 to 6 inches of snow as expected. In Big Bear Lake, Rob McMillan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Remember, you can track the storm yourself with our Mega Doppler weather app. It puts the power of the Mega Doppler in your pocket. You'll find it for free in the App Store or Google Play. Just search all one word, Mega Doppler.
He's already facing charges, accused of killing his ex-wife on a cruise. Now the former Mission Viejo attorney is answering to new allegations, accused of trying to have his new wife murdered. Eyewitness News Orange County Bureau Chief Eileen Frere has more.
Lonnie Cocantes before a judge facing more charges. The 57-year-old former attorney initially charged with murdering his second ex-wife, Miki Kanasaki, for financial gain, allegedly strangling her, then throwing her overboard during a cruise in Italy in 2006. Cocantes now charged with trying to have his third ex-wife, identified only as Jane Doe, also killed. She's a witness in the upcoming murder trial. Prosecutors accused him of soliciting 2 inmates to try to get Jane Doe to sign a letter that he drafted. The letter allegedly stated that she lied to the Orange County grand jury in 2013.
In reality, what he wanted her to do was to say that he did not tell her that he wanted to kill his ex-wife prior to going on the cruise, and that she was threatened by law enforcement to make that statement. And he was willing to pay her $2,000 in exchange for that statement to be written and signed.
Prosecutors say one of the inmates, through his attorney, reported the alleged crime to the Orange County District Attorney's Office. That investigation revealed what Cocantes was allegedly offering the 2 inmates.
He was offering them a sum of money, a different sum of money for each, but several $1,000s for the signing of the letter, and a lot more than that if they were to make her disappear.
If convicted, Cocantes faces up to 11 years in prison on the new charges and a maximum of life in prison without parole on the murder charge. He's expected to appear in court June 5th. In Santa Ana, Eileen Frere, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
4 Orange County men are behind bars accused in a murder-for-hire plot. John Taylor and his 2 sons, Matthew and Joseph, along with another man, Travis Sprague, were all booked on solicitation to commit murder. Huntington Beach police say an undercover detective met with one of the suspects and negotiated a price to have someone known to all 4 men killed for financial gain. The FBI initially tipped off local police about the alleged murder plot, but no other details are being released right now. All 4 men are being held in the Orange County Jail on $1 million bail.
A man is under arrest accused of flying a drone outside the White House fence. A Secret Service spokesperson says the drone was flying about 100 feet over Lafayette Park. The situation put the park and the White House on lockdown for more than an hour. The operator was handcuffed after landing the device in the park. The drone was recovered and declared safe. President Obama was away from the White House at the time of the incident. And the latest now on the deadly Amtrak crash investigation in Philadelphia. The NTSB says the Amtrak train accelerated about 30 miles per hour before it derailed, going from 70 miles per hour to more than 100 miles per hour. So far, investigators have found no problems with the track or signals. The death toll climbed to 8 today with the discovery of a body inside a mangled train car. Engineer Brandon Bastian has agreed to be interviewed by the NTSB in the next few days. His attorney says Bastian suffered a concussion and has no memory of the crash. Officials have accounted for all 243 passengers and crew members.
The measles outbreak that began at Disneyland has led to a move for tougher regulations on childhood vaccinations. Eyewitness News reporter Robert Olguin explains the state Senate took a major step in that direction today.
Madam Pro Tem, I couldn't hear him.
Excuse me, Senator.
After a heated debate from lawmakers on both sides of the issue, the state Senate took another step toward requiring vaccines for all children entering public schools in California.
Ayes 25, noes 10. That measure passes.
The state Senate today approved a proposal that would eliminate the personal and religious exemptions when it comes to vaccines.
Vaccines are necessary to protect us, but that protection has been eroding.
Supporters of Senate Bill 277 say the exemptions endanger lives by allowing preventable diseases like the measles to spread.
Exemptions hurt kids and other immunocompromised people. I haven't heard of any religion that actually says we're against vaccinations.
But critics say the measure ignores parents who have their own reasons for not having their children vaccinated.
Why is it a religious exemption is so scary to this Senate body?
Along with religious concerns, some lawmakers expressed concern that vaccines can trigger medical conditions, such as autism.
It's clear that a large portion of concerned parents will likely withhold their children from public schools because of their concerns or lack of comfort from the vaccination process.
But supporters of the bill say medical science has debunked those claims.
This bill protects the rights of all children so they can be safe and be sure to have an education.
The bill now goes to the Assembly. It would also require the signature of Governor Jerry Brown. If approved, California would become the 3rd state in the union without either exemption. Robert Olguin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Up next, 3 decades behind bars for a crime he didn't commit.
Tonight, he's finally free. How this case of mistaken identity was solved after all this time.
And much more on our wild weather. Meteorologist Jonathan Novak looks ahead to tonight and the morning drive.
All right, folks, we are tracking some heavy rainfall just east of Malibu. This is shower activity and some downpours that's approaching Santa Monica, most likely going to skirt that area. We've seen an inch per hour plus with that pocket of heavy rain right now in that live Mega Doppler 7000 HD. We'll have an update on the forecast coming up in a few minutes. Back to you guys at the desk.
That is serious, Jonathan. Okay, see you in a minute. Major developments in a case of mistaken identity 3 decades old. One man spending 29 years behind bars for a crime he didn't commit. Another man who looked just like him. In fact, you have to see this at the time, finally confessing. ABC's Lindsay Janis has the story.
Tonight, Michael McAllister reunited with his mother and sister after spending nearly 30 years in prison. The governor of Virginia granting the 58-year-old an absolute pardon Wednesday.
What are your immediate Go home and eat.
And I'm ready to cook his dinner.
The wrongful conviction due to McAllister's uncanny resemblance to another man, Norman Bruce Durr. The crime? The attempted sexual assault of a woman in this laundry room inside a Richmond apartment building back in 1986. At the time, that woman identifying McAllister in this photo lineup. But shortly after, Durr was convicted of a string of assaults in the area, and he recently confessed to this crime too. Tonight, McAllister telling us he's moving on.
I'm feeling overjoyed. I'm so happy. I've never been this happy before.
Lindsay Janis, ABC News, New York.
A groundbreaking for an apartment complex that will serve our local veterans. Today, city leaders and developers broke ground on the Marmion Way apartments in the Mount Washington area of Los Angeles. The development will be 49 units, 24 of which will be designated for veterans who are now homeless. The other 24 will be reserved for working families. The last apartment is for an on-site manager. The project is expected to be completed by next December.
We are on Storm Track. Jonathan Novak is tracking the rain and the snow up next.
And what a day to take a bike ride. 95 miles in the rain from Santa Barbara to Santa Clarita. Highlights from Stage 5 of the Tour of California coming up in sports. The stormy skies couldn't dampen the enthusiasm in Playa del Rey. Nearly 3,500 kids, teachers, and volunteers took part in the annual beach cleanup at Dockweiler State Beach. This video was sent to us by Tara McVicker. Along with the cleanup, an important message: plastic, trash, and other litter gets into the ocean, killing marine life and polluting food sources.
And Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter sent us this video saying she finally got to give her new rain barrels a try. You can send us your photos and video too. Just post them with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness. That's great.
Yeah,
she's out there doing her part. Setting an example for everybody. Well done, Leanne.
Yeah. She's very, on top of things all the time.
Interesting. Nice.
Very productive.
Yeah.
When she's not at work, she's making things like that. All right, now let's check in with Jonathan Novak with a live Mega Doppler 7000 HD.
She make that? That's great. That's pretty cool. Either way, got a lot of rain for it today. Live Mega Doppler 7000 HD still going on. In fact, I've got it in loop mode right now to show you a pocket of heavy rain that's heading from the west toward the east. This is going to skirt Santa Monica. I'll bring it up to the live mode now. And this is bringing about an inch or more per hour, where you see these magenta colors here just offshore east of the Malibu area. And again, this is going to be skirting Santa Monica, PCH up to the 101. This is some heavy rain you're going to have to watch out for. We head to the north of that, more of that, not as heavy, but we've seen rain like that around San Fernando, around the 405 and the 5, and where the 210 are. Canyon Country too. This is starting to lighten up around your area, but you've seen almost an inch or so of rain so far, because we've got more to go. Snow in Wrightwood down to Mount Baldy, still going on. More tonight for you too. And it looks like some heavy rain that's just south of Crestline, a pocket there. Where you see those reds, that's where you see about 3/4 of an inch or so per hour falling right now with this storm system. Big Bear seeing some snow too. And that is some rain transitions to rain as you head down to the foothills and toward Temecula, where there's some heavy rain as well for you guys. And that stretches towards San Clemente. And Temecula, Murrieta, you guys are right there sandwiching some heavy activity. And this is a flash flood watch that is in effect for some of the foothill areas. But when you see rain like that around Malibu, just east of Malibu heading towards Santa Monica, you could get some flooding in low-lying areas with something like that, an inch per hour. Hey, time-lapse of Big Bear. Nice stuff there. Some snow from earlier, some snow around Angeles National Forest, and then some rain at Disneyland. Cool stuff that we captured there in our time-lapse cameras. Okay, so the totals otherwise that have been coming in, about 3.35. Villa Park Dam, Santa Ana had just over a half an inch. Same about that in Ocean View. Yorba Linda, look at that, 0.87 for you guys so far. Now, I'm saying so far because we are in round one of what will be 2 rounds of rain as we see this big storm system here. Around it is rotating this right here, another area, disturbed weather that's going to be pulling in to the Southern California region tomorrow morning. And I've got that for you right here on that future rainfall forecast. Start you up tonight. Still some rain around the area, some shower activity, maybe a couple of pockets of heavier stuff still around, but I think we're going to be winding it down at that point. And then bring it back again for your morning commute. Watch out tomorrow. Leave extra time. Don't have to go out in the roadways, then don't, because some of this could be intense rainfall, especially down in the southern portions of LA County, it looks like, and south. So keep that in mind for your morning commute tomorrow. By the evening commute, it started pulling to the east, and I think you guys in the eastern portion of the area might have to watch out for wet roadways, but the western portions of Ventura County, Santa Barbara County, guys should be drying out at that point. This is that winter weather advisory that's in effect for the mountains, and that flash flood watch that we have in effect for the foothills. We could see 3 to 6 inches of snow in the mountains and another inch or so in some of those flash flood watch areas around the foothills by tomorrow afternoon. So the 7-day forecast has you guys in LA, Metro and Orange County drying out by Friday night. The weekend looks good, 70 for Saturday and Sunday. Good stuff. Valleys, IE, another inch is possible. And yeah, we've got to really watch out for those magenta areas I showed you on the radar. Those are, again, possible flooding areas that were showing up on the radar. The beach forecast, half an inch. Watching out for those areas I just mentioned. Mountain forecast, another 3 to 6 inches of snow. 39 for a high tomorrow, but we get into the 50s by Sunday, so we'll warm it up. The high desert, still rain for you guys too, but I'm going to dry it out by, I'd say, late tomorrow afternoon. Eastern portions of the Antelope Valley might still see some shower activity by your morning or your afternoon commute tomorrow, but then by the evening time it's drying up and the weekend's looking good. All right, Dallas has more at 11 o'clock on ABC7. Back to you guys.
All right, Jonathan, thank you. We actually have some breaking sports news going on right now. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell will hear the appeal of Tom Brady's suspension. This stems from an earlier report where Patriots quarterback Tom Brady appealed the 4-game suspension the league handed down for his role in using deflated footballs during the AFC Championship game. The expected appeal was filed by the NFL Players Association today, about an hour before the deadline, and the Players Union urged Commissioner Roger Goodell to appoint a neutral arbitrator to hear this case. The Patriots were also fined $1 million and had 2 draft picks taken away. Today, the team refuted the league findings in a 20,000-word rebuttal. It disputes the investigator hired by the NFL on matters of science, logic, and law. The document says the deflator nickname used by a ball boy and cited in the NFL's decision to suspend Brady was about weight loss, not footballs. Again, the commissioner now says he will hear the appeal, but no word yet on whether a neutral arbitrator will be used. And we're just 10 days away from the Indy 500. Today, 3-time champion Helio Castroneves talked about his frightening crash during practice yesterday.
All of a sudden, the rear of the car just stepped out, and I tried to overcorrect. Unfortunately, didn't have enough time, and the car spun out. Then it started taking off. That's when I'm like, oh snap, this is gonna hurt. I closed my eyes, and when I opened, I was actually kind of like on my feet again. I'm very lucky to be able to come out of that kind of crash without actually any injury.
From auto racing to cycling in Stage 5 of the Tour of California, today's soggy trek was from Santa Barbara to Santa Clarita. When you have weather conditions like there were today, there's bound to be some slipping and sliding and falling. As you can see, the Stage 5 winner was Mark Cavendish from Great Britain. Tomorrow's Stage 6 time trial has been moved from Big Bear to Santa Clarita because of the mountain snow.
If your workout is so easy that you can read a magazine while doing it, it might be time to jump into a fusion workout. Yoga Lattes and piloxing are some examples where 2 forms of exercise are joined together to mix up your program. Our food and fitness coach, Lori Corbin, takes a look at why combo classes are hot.
We like to make workouts fun. That's what fitness should be.
Crunch Group instructor Elle Young thinks her Hard Knocks class will get you off the treadmill. Young's workout combines boxing with hip-hop.
So you get a little bit of the boxing and a little bit of the swagger.
Swagger's fun, but if your workout is focused on cardio, you're going to want results.
And this class offers a 2-for-1 for fitness. The boxing gives you that upper body strength, while the hip-hop delivers a huge punch to the buns and legs.
When you're tired, at the end of the day, you want somebody that's through the roof to get you through it.
Instructor energy, important, but so's content, which is why fusion or combination workouts are popular. Piloxing combines Pilates with boxing. Cardio bar or booty bar uses ballet moves to provide tons of tone, then calorie torching cardio. Surfing, yoga, plus strength is what you'll get with surf set classes. And there are countless interval workouts incorporating TRX, BOSU, Viper, and other tools to mix up strength while getting the fat to fly. But Education Director for the National Academy of Sports Medicine, Fabio Comana, urges exercisers to question purpose behind action and know how you yourself move to prevent injuries.
And if you're not moving as efficiently as the body's supposed to, let's take a moment to kind of build that foundation. So let's slow things down, let's do it right, and listen to your body.
In other words, learn to walk before you run. Lori Corbin, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
More news straight ahead here at 7:30 and ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. An Eyewitness News investigation. He twirls, he trots, he shows his dogs in the ring. So why is he suing businesses and claiming he's disabled? And does Scandal's Olivia Pope have a problem that no one's talking about? Because we are. These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7.
A generous donation for the Los Angeles County Alliance Boys and Girls Club. Footwear retailer WSS donated $250,000. Anthony Anderson, star of the ABC hit show Blackish, joined forces with WSS to make the announcement. The donation will benefit 27 Boys and Girls Clubs. The funds will help local kids with programs in academic achievement, healthy lifestyle, and character building.
The countdown to the Special Olympics World Games here in Los Angeles has officially begun. They lit the flame today in Athens, Greece. The torch will travel around the world over the next 73 days and eventually make its way to the LA Coliseum, where it will light the cauldron on July 25th. 7,000 athletes from 177 countries are coming here to compete, and you can donate and help by going to abc7.com/Special Olympics. Have a good night.